and gentlemen, on notice who don't know online shop, such as Shopee, Lazada, Bukalapak, Tokopedia, and so on. With the existence of an online shop, we can buy or sell items easily without wasting time and effort. Just move your finger and select or pause the item that you want to buy or sell. A few moments later, the item will be in your hands. So, because of the convenience provided, so many people in this world prefer to use an online shop than an offline shop to make their needs. So, automatically, the income of online shop is higher than the income of offline shop.
Yeah.
While in the reality, offline shop is taxed, while online shop is not taxed. So there will be injustice that harms the parties from the offline shops. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I start my statement, the things that I need to emphasize is that we don't explain specifically about the types of online shop, but we set limits and decide to generalize all transactions activities through the internet as online shop. Whether it is e-commerce or so on, all of them are online shop. Because we raised on our motions that talk about online shops. Well, ladies and gentlemen, actually our motion today consists of 3 keywords. They are online shop, offline shop, and tax. Let's see one by one. Online shop is the process purchasing services or goods by consumers and through the internet. Actually, online shop has several kinds of characteristics, such as wide market reach, has no time and place limits, small operational costs, and unlimited profits. From those explanations about the characteristics of online shop, we can say that online shop don't need big capital. Online shop don't need a big place to start this business. You just only need the intention, first intention. The second is capital, but no more than 500,000 rupiah. If you have a capital just 100,000 rupiah, you can start this business. And the last is, you don't need big place to start this business. Moreover, your room, your bedroom can use as the place of this business. The second one is offline shop. Offline shop is a place for buying and selling goods and services between individuals or groups that are carried out directly. Offline shop, also has several kinds of characteristics. They are require substantial capital, limited market reach and operating hours, big risk, and profits depend on capital. So, from this explanation about the characteristics of offline shop, we can conclude that offline shop is a business that needs big place to start it itself, and the profit is depends on the capital. How many capital you use so that the profits that you take. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give 2 arguments. When we talk about online shop and offline shop, definitely we will discuss about tax as well. And tax also, when we talk about tax, offline shop and online shop has differentiate about it. If we talk about offline shop, we discuss about land and building tax and also income tax.
Yes.
Land and building tax is a tax levied on land and buildings because of the advantageous and or better socio-economic position of a person or entity that has a right to it or benefits from it. And income tax is a tax that is charged to the income of individuals, companies, or other legal entities. Income tax can be applied progressively, proportionally, or regressively. And why not? Maybe all of us think that maybe that's all that I can explain as the first speaker. The next argument will be explained by the second speaker of government team. Thank you.
Okay, I'm from the first speaker of opposition team. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Irma and my partner is Yomi Sabri. Okay, our motion today is this house equally requires offline and online stock to pay tax. Okay, I'm from opposition team. This agree with this motion. Why? Because okay, before I'm going to explain you what my argument. First, I would like to explain my background about this motion. Why we disagree with this motion? Okay. Jakarta, the Indonesian E-Commerce Association, or the IDEA requires that the application of online stock tax be postponed as a review with a comparative study. The Ministry of Finance, through the Directorate General of Tax, has officially issued tax imposition rules for e-commerce players as an online store in Indonesia. The regulation is in the form of Ministry of Finance Regulation 210/PNK 010/2018 concerning tax treatment of trade transactions through electronic system, which will take effect on April 1, 2019. This application raises concern from the IDA side. According to Zero Slayer IDA Ignatius, one of them is because its party has not received data regarding the impact of implementing this policy. We see that there is no comparative study of this matter. So far, we have not had the opportunity to show the data. When this impact is updated, what is the cost? What is the risk? The benefits do not yet exist. United States at press conference at IDA space in the South Jakarta area on Monday 1. To note, this regulation requires online merchants who sell on e-commerce platforms to have and notify their tax prior identification number on NPWP or population registration number to the e-commerce platform. According to Ignatius, the provision will make it difficult for micro businesses that are just starting their business. In addition, he considered that the age of the e-commerce industry is still very young to be burdened with this obligation. In connection with that, Ignatius also requests that the government to postpone the policy and conduct further study, because related to this online store itself, such as selling on Facebook, Instagram, that profit is still very little, about 5% of the process of sales. We ask of the Ministry of Finance to postpone and review this PMK decision of more comprehensive studies and planning Ignatius. Okay, now I'm going to explain what is definition about online shop, about tax, and about offline shops. Okay, the definition of tax is a contribution of or compulsory levy that must be paid by the people or taxpayer to the state based on the law, where the tax money will be used for the benefit of the government and the welfare on the general public. Okay, the second is online store. Store is a place where they sell and purchase of goods in connected in one internet network, and customers access goods from available picture and can buy for them through various facilities. One of them is through a bank transaction. And the third is conventional stores. Conventional stores are places where buying and selling, where buyers can see physically and the buyer can come directly to see, choose and buy goods or services they need. Payment can also be made at that time without going through an intermediary. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to deliver to you my argument. Okay, e-commerce business actor objection online store tax enforcement are equipped with conventional store. According to a report by Pekanbaru journalist Alexander, said that the e-commerce business actor object to the Ministry of Finance policy trial. The Directorate General of Tax, which officially issued tax imposition rules for e-commerce actors and online store in Indonesia. The reason is that the rules between e-commerce entrepreneurs will apply in the same way as conventional stores currently in terms of taxation. The owner of the online Bedlaw store shop, story told Tribun Pekanbaru.com, said that in his party strongly disagree with the regulation is implemented later, because according to him, there are still many online stores that have small business and their income are also not too large. Like our business selling clothing through online is promoted on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and others. Unfortunately, it's small. Sorry, told Tribune on Saturday. He said it was more agreed that implementation of the regulation was done by sorting out entrepreneurs who already had big brands, which were quite a lot of Indonesia. If that is massive, please, it is indeed just right to be taxed like a conventional stock. Later, if we are big like that, we also willing and happy to pay the tax, he said. Okay, maybe that's all for
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm from the second speaker of the Afghan government. Our motion today is talk about this House will equally require offline and online shop to pay tax. I will disagree with this motion before I'm going to explain, before I'm going to deliver my argument why I really agree with this motion. Let me repeat some arguments from the opening opposition, especially in the first speaker. As the first speaker said that she has talked to us and has delivered to us that he got the data. From the data, we can conclude that the first speaker always agree with this motion, even she made the class of the small business or the big business. But from her statement, he really agree with our motion today. That's the conclusion that I got from the speaker, from the first speaker, of the opening opposition. Okay, let me continue to deliver my argument why I really agree with this motion. Actually, there are 2 points that make me really agree with this motion. Let me explain it one by one. Okay, first, I really agree if online shop and online shop should pay a tax. Why? Because from conventional or from offline shop and online shop, they have a same right. Why? That I say that as we know together that online shop in this country, especially in Indonesia, is very developed time by time. So the income from conventional shop or from offline and from online it can same or can balance. So why we should why the online shop only should pay tax? So why the online shop they can free to do the sellers to do bargaining to do sellers with the others with the consumer. As you know that in nowadays the consumer are really interesting to buy something in online shop because they think that online shop is more effective to buy something if we compare with conventional shop or offline shop. Why I said there is no equality between conventional shop or offline shop with the online shop? Because as we know together that Indonesia or this country is also one the big tax of this country is come from the YouTubers. I mean the famous YouTubers, they should pay tax. So what happened with this online shop? Why this online shop can't ask the YouTubers to pay tax also? And then, as we know together, there are many consumers that really agree, that really interesting to buy something or to sell something in online shop if we compare with conventional shop. I think as we know, conventional shop, they sell many products that come from this local, that come from a local product. So what about the online shop? Online shop, they not only sell the products that come from our country or that as the local product, but online shop also sell some products that come from another country. So that is very not a balance if we compare between the conventional income with the online shop income. And then, as we know together, as I have said before, that the online shop in this country is very developed time by time. So that makes the conventional or the offline shops they lose their consumers. That can make the conventional shop close or stop their business. That means if they choose to stop their business, that means they didn't need a worker anymore. They didn't need official employee. That means if there is no, that means by the conventional shop didn't need the employer, the official employee. That means there are many joblessness in our country. As we know together, our country, Indonesia, is at the high levels, I mean the 3 levels of Asia with the big joblessness in the world, in the ASEAN, I mean. And from the recent Google and Thermometric in their report, Economist EEA 2018 said that the industry online shop in Indonesia is very high in the Asia Tenggara. With the data and with the fact that we see around us, we really need that we should make balance between the conventional shop or online shop with online shop. That is my first statement why I really agree with this motion. And then let me explain my second statement. My second statement why I really agree with this motion, because the tax of the online shop we can improve the income of our
development. That means if the online shop that really develop in this country pay tax, that can give big income for our country, that can help can help the government to make to build many infrastructures in our country. Sri Mulyani, the Minister of Finance, also adding her statement that the money received from the tax of 1 trillion rupiah was the same as 729,000 poor households that receive rice assistance. 1 trillion equals to 306,000 tons of fertilizer equal to 2.2 million junior high school students. That means if the tax of the online shop will pay to our government, that means also can help many students to get education.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm Mr. Terry. I'm from a second speaker of opposition team. So, in this good opportunity, I will read a little bit about the first speaker and second speaker of government team. The first speaker of government team, I don't really catch their point that that she agreed about online and conventional shop to pay tax. Because as we know, our motion today is this house equally require online and offline shop or conventional shop to pay tax. And my regard to the second speaker. She said in the first first opinion, she said that because the offline commerce will lose their consumer if the online more pronounced than offline. So the online commerce will produce more employed in Indonesia. I don't really agree about that. And the second rebutting for the second speaker, she said that our first speaker of opposition do agree with the motion. So here I will little bit clarification with this case. Our first speaker in opposition said that we do agree with the motion, just this house equally require the conventional pay a tax, not online tax, or not online shop to pay a tax. So here I have two arguments why I didn't agree. On the other hand, I do agree with what we say. With this motion, if the motion only this house equally require the conventional shop to pay a tax. So, my opinion, why I don't agree with this motion is first, the conventional soap not really equal with the online soap. Why I say that? The online shop do not really exist a marketplace to sell their merchandise.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about the tax, of course we're talking about the harm to the country. We're talking about the harm to the country. Of course, the conventional is more give or harmful to the country when they do not pay a tax. Why I do that? For example, when we're talking about a conventional shop, they will begin to sell their merchandise. So they will need marketplace to uh, put their merchandise. But it's different case with the online shop. When we're talking about online shop, there we only need a quota and a little bit platform like FB, IG, and so on. So that's why I don't agree if the online shop paying a tax to the government. My second opinion is, well, according to the data exactly, Jakarta.com said that the online shop or online commerce dominant with a civil society medium and below. So medium and below, but when we're talking about a conventional, we're talking about the civil society medium and a high. So how can we, when we think logically about online shop, of course, when the government produce a rules constitution that online shop must and should to pay a tax to the government, it's very hard to the heart of the online commerce. Why? Because according to the data that say the civil society that's included to the online or the online commerce is medium and below. So how can the government should to get a tax, how can the online should pay tax to the government if we're thinking logically? So ladies and gentlemen, I will give you a conclusion that I one more do not agree if the motion says that this house equally require the online and offline in paying a tax. But I do agree if the motion just from this house equally require offline shop or offline commerce to paying a tax. But I do not really agree to online shop paying a tax. Thank you very much for your attention.
First, my name is Delia. I'm the first speaker from working government. That's first, I want to say that first there is a communication from the opposition side, that the first speaker, that because there is not the benefit of online job that system, but I think that is wrong because there is a regional that named self-assistance that the regulation that can manage the onset or report the tax to themselves. That's the first, and the second is the second speaker of the opposition that say he is not just change the direction of his statements, but there is the same like he is agree with our statement that is our second speaker said that, and they just change the background of the motion, but they not they say that the text is very important in Indonesia. And also, Jakarta Kompas said that online shop must pay the tax because it's writing an SPT or report of annual notice, and what their tax abilities will tell. And then the director of counseling service and public relations of DGC has to yoga Saksama that says if you have selling something on media social or if you Facebook and all of that, you must do a report on selling at the SEC. Now, because of that, in PNP regulations number 210 in 2018, that is enough the companies of e-commerce actors to get equal treatment between professional business and online business. Because of that, in my opinion, I agree with this statement because in Indonesia, we must pay the tax the same like the regional or online shop and offline shop because they is the important in our tax. If not, the building in Indonesia cannot be good and we must pay this we must pay the tax in Indonesia because the important for building all of theirs in Indonesia. Because of that, there's the reason why I agree with this statement or this motion because so much so much benefit in online shop and offline shop that pay the tax is the same and there is the pay and the pay of tax in this area. And because of that, I, from the first speaker of closing government, support this motion and once again I say we must to pay the tax in online shop or offline shop that is same because that's very important in our country and on the building relation on all of that is our country. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. Before I deliver my speech, especially my argument, I need to tell you about my rebuttal of the three from the government team. My first rebuttal from the first speaker from government team, he said that don't need big model or capital and the big place and also line tax and income. But as we know together that not our online shop have a lot of income and maybe only minority and the online shop is also very minimal and its branches very different from offline shops which have many advantages because they directly interact with the community. And the second rebuttal from the second speaker from government team, she said that same can balance offline and online shop more effective and very interesting. For those who know that not all online shops sell real pictures item because the pictures are very good and that makes the buyers or customer uh, very interesting about the item. But in reality, not all real pictures items make customers disappointed because they do not suit their wishes. And the last rebuttal from the first speaker from policy government, she said that pay, pay the tax same offline and online shop. I disagree with that because income is not the same. Maybe the online shop has just started a business that is not large. And now let's move to my argument. The first about the background. As we know, there are many businessmen and businesswomen in Indonesia who sow and sell their various items and a variety of products that they sell. And I have two arguments. The first, there are still many online stores that are small business and income is not large. And the second argument do not have a solid business model that makes it difficulty to last long. There is no guarantee of security for customers.
Yeah.
Selling, and for example, selling clothes promoted on Facebook and all of the social media. So, as the opposition team say that they agree with the motion because disagree with the motion because in conventional stores or offline shops that have to pay taxes because he has a lot of opportunities to get even greater properties compared to online shops. Okay, maybe that's all.
Thank you very much for our team on one side. Thank you very much for the opposite team. This is the golden place to me standing in front of you, deliver my speech to you about these motions today. So I'm the last and the second speaker of closing government. My name is Giovanni. So our motions today about this house will equally require offline and online shops to pay tax. So my dear friends, in this statement, once again, I want to say, our side, our position as government sides will undefeated until this time. The question is why? Simple. In these motions, we talk about the regulations. So because of that, the motions say this house will equally requires the tax, required and the tax. If there is a key word in our motions, there is a K of debating words. The K of debating words is not the person, is not the issues, is not the problem behind the regulations, but the regulations. Okay. Let me tell you one time.
Yeah.
Thanks. Statement from the opposite team. The first statement is this online online shop doesn't have a marketplace. There is some misunderstanding in this statement because online shop don't have a marketplace because online shop, marketplace, and e-commerce are totally different of platform. There is different platforms. And the second statement is the second speaker of the opposite team says she just agreed with one statement that just one side should have tax and the others is still no. This is ridiculous analogy of your statement, Martin. If your left eyes, if you sleep and your right eyes should be closed, it means both of your eyes must be closed. That's unfair. This is the point of these regulations. Not about the how much you should pay the tax. It is incorrect because the government side say there is a percentage of each of the businessmen or the sites should pay not how much but how the percentage. If your income is small, it means your percentage is small, and so on. So once again, you do some misunderstanding in our topics or our motions today. The third statement say that if the online shop or we can agree with the data that we brings to our debating today, they say that this regulation is unfair because the businessmen can manage themselves or their friends. You have to know. This is the latest data from the mitrapajak.org. It is directly under the sites of Kementerian in Bahasa or in our Ministry of Economy of Indonesia. Say that like this. All of the solutions of the troublesome in these regulations that online shop or conventional offline shops should have to pay the tax is the system called self-assessment tax regulations. So in these regulations, the businessman, the online shop or the offline shop can maintain themselves with their income, their tax, and should report it by themselves. So this is not incorrect if you say this regulation is unfair, because like I said, it is a ridiculous analogy if you say just one side should pay the tax and the others are no. Seems like when we sleep, our both eyes is totally closed together. Not the one is open and the other is still closed. This is some ridiculous analogy, my friends. That's unfair. If you don't agree with our topic today, it means you are unfair persons. If you don't agree with this topic, you should not have to unagree with these regulations. You should unagree with the persons who turn or who requires these regulations, not about the regulations. So the conclusion is, until this time, I finish my speech. Our positions as a government side still unequal with all of the goodness that government should requires this tax that say offline and conventional online shop should have paying the tax together in equal percentage. Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I am the last speaker from voicing the opposition. Our motion today is they equally requires offline and online shop to pay tax. As the first, I want to rebuttal from the first speaker and the third speaker. As the speakers say, if they have 1,000 rupees, 100,000 rupees, you can start your business and using online gadget. And here, and the third speaker say, between offline shop and online shop, they must have to pay their tax is saved. And then in here, I want to make a sense. The speakers say, the first speaker and the third speaker from the government team, they didn't explain as detailed who is the will pay the tax beginner who is the pay tax is the from beginner or they for a long time of beginner to pay the tax, and I didn't hear the government team explain that. And here I want to hold out the argument of government team, as they say offline from the offline and online shop, not pay a tax.
Online.
Focus.
Because the online shop just use a gadget, and offline shop there must be effects start from plan, start from building, and so on. And as we know, the tax of land is much in Indonesia, and then the tax of building is so much. And then, meanwhile, the offline shop just use a gadget, and they not need the other material to take the other material. And then, why I disagree with this motion. Thank you.